Srimad Bhagavatam
Srimad Bhagavatam
Puranamamalam
Puranamamalam
Yad Vaishnavanam Priyam
Yad Vaishwanam Priyam
Vaishnavanam Priyam
Yad Vaishwanam Priyam
Vaishnavanam Priyam
Vaishnavanam Priyam
Yasmin Saram
Yasmin Saram
Ahamsyame Tadakhilam
Aham Asya Me
Ahimsa
Ahim
Saramahamsyame Tadakhilam
Sara Ahimsa Me Dakhilam
Saramahamsyameta
Sara Mahamsya Meta
Akhilam Gnanam
Akhilam Dhyanam
Param Giyate
Param Dhiyate
Yatra Gnana Viraga Bhakti
Yatra
Gnana Viraga
Jnana Viraga
Bhakti Sahitaihi
Bhakti Sahitaihi
Naishkarmyamavishkrutam
Naishkarmyama Vishkrutam
Tatsrunvan
Dasunvana
Tatsrunvan
Tatshunvan
Vipadan Vicharana Paro
Vipadana Vicharana Paro
Bhaktya Vimuchyen Naraha
Bhaktya Vimuchye Naraha
Yogindraya Namastasmai
Yogindraya Namastasmai
Sukaya Brahmarupine
Lokaya Brahmarupine
Samsara Sarpadashtam
Samsara Sarpadashtam
Yo Vishnurata Mamo Muchatu
Yo Vishnurata Mamo
Muchatu
Uchatu
Yo Vishnurata Mamo Muchatu.
O Vishnurata Mamo Muchatu.
These are the two concluding stanzas in Bhagavata Saptasati 719 and 720. This will give you an idea about what we are doing, because we just sit to learn Bhagavatam, because Amalam Puranam, this is a pure, long lasting and bygone Puranam. And this is very much liked by Vaishnavanam Priyam. This is very much pleasing and important for all those who respect and devote themselves to Vishnu and Vishnu Bhakti. And in this, there is the saram, the essence of all regarding Gnanam and knowledge, all-round knowledge that would be helpful for us to pick up knowledge, detachment, devotion, and also to rise beyond karmas, or to get rid of the karmas which are sticking to us. And therefore, because this book, this particular knowledge has helped the Parikshit Maharaja to get rid of the bandhas and go into the Vaishnava Lokam, Vaikuntham. And for all this, the responsible Guru is Sukha Maharshi, who is almost the Brahma himself, and he is a Yogendra, and he tried to remove all that karma and difficulties, being stung by the samsara sarpa, and he got moksha. See, for everybody born on the land with human birth has got scope to not to come back again and suffer all the life. So they must get a kind of emancipation thereafter. So for that, Bhagavata is a tool, is a sanmarga bodha, so that we will be getting that higher elevation. Therefore, this is what is called Bhagavatam, which has been told. And now we come to the speech by Prahlada, and we are there in the 255 sloka. Is it, Amma?
Very good, correct.
252.
ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು 54 ಅಂತ.
Yeah, we actually completed till 254.
Yeah, now we go to see 255. See, Prahlada is just hinting us we are all people are children in the beginning. Vayam Purapi Bala is teaching to his own classmates, you know, everybody has undergone the childhood. And whatever that has been told by Guru need not be accepted verbatim. Guruktam nagrahyam. Just because it has been told by Guru, it should not be taken for granted, because we have to also understand the reality and truth and tattvam. If some gurus are there who misuse, misinterpret, abuse, and spoil the mind of the students by infusing wrong knowledge, let us not think that all gurus are giving us right knowledge. There are more gurus who misguide you and keep you worried. What is that misguidance? Arthe anarthakalpanam. Trying to misinterpret the truths and realities of life. See, anarthe arthakalpanam. That is what is anartha, trying to make a positivity of sense for that. So this is what some gurus do it. When you realize that the guru is not doing it properly, you should refuse to stay on with him. So you have to reject. Guru, it is like the grandfather, the grandson of Prahlada, the Balichakravarti, who did not listen to Sukracharya, but got wonderful status after making the Bhudanam. You know, there are 16 danas, and the first best danam is Bhudanam. Therefore, they say, Bhudanam, Bhuridanam, Rathataragadhanam, Annapradhanam. So, Bhudanam, Bhuridhanam, and Rathadanam, Turagadhanam, Gajadanam, etc., and Annadanam, and ultimately Kanyadanam. So these are all 16 danas which are Manu and all Smrutikaras give us, which have got to be practiced, or one of them at least to be done during our lifetime, because life is a very precious thing which has got to be properly monitored by every one of us. Therefore, he says, so in that kind of dana sense, there are gurus who will not properly advise us. Therefore, this says Guruktam nagrahyam, even though has been told by Guru, that has not to be accepted, because in 255th sloka, Prahlada continues to talk. Please repeat. Kasyatruhu kabudasinaha.
Kakshatruhu ka udasinaha. Kakshatruhu ka udasinaha.
Kim mitram ko artha atmanaha.
Kim mitram cheha atmanaha. Rasi undi sir ikkada.
Bhavat swavinayaihi.
Bhavat swabhinaihi. Bhavat swabhinaihi.
Kim syad daivam.
Kim syad daivam. Kim syad daivam.
Sampat vipat pradam.
Sampat vipat pradam. Sampat vipat pradam.
Yo nahim syat.
Yo nahim syat. Yo nahim syat.
Dharma kamau.
dharma kamau, dharma kamau,
Atmano vai janasya cha.
atmanam swajana
Atmano vai janasya cha.
swajaneshvashah eva.
Atmano vai janasya cha.
Atmano vais janashya vasha
Punastriloke yo hetuhu.
punashriloke yor hetuhu punashriloke yor hetuhu
Sammatorthaha.
sammuktaandhyotiti durlabha
Sammatarthoti durlabha.
sammathartho doti durlabha.
So Atmanaha, you first 255.
Uncle, can you say that Ante
Pardon?
Durlabha, that Samuktan Dyo Ati Durlabha is correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, thank you.
Artho ati durlabha. So
Oh.
now Prahalada is telling, Kaha sitruhu ka udasinaha kim mitram ko artha atmanaha bhavatu swavinayaihi kim syat daivam sampat vipat pradam. So it is all Paramatma who will decide for us the enemy, the friend, the neutral person, and what is good for you, and what is not at all avinaya, and all, or what is sampat, and what is vipat. All these factors are being prescribed by the God. So the divinity is there, because we are not authors for what is happening, but happening shall happen. What has to happen shall happen. What has not to happen shall not happen. That is what. ఏది అవ్వాలో తప్పకుండా అవుతుంది, ఏది కాకూడదు తప్పకుండా కానే కాదు. అండ్ ఇంకోటి ఏంటంటే, అనదర్ పాయింట్ ఈస్, ప్రహ్లాద ఇస్ టెలింగ్, యహ నహింస్యా ధర్మకామౌ ఆత్మనః వై జనస్య చ. See, nobody should harm or deprive oneself these two things, dharma kama, or dharma and kama. These are the most important things. That is called kamaha dharmasya, dharmaha kamaha. That is, one has to always stick on to their duty, to their dharma, because everybody, whether man or animal or anybody, has dharma or duty or commitment or behavioral pattern that should not be hampered either to oneself or to the other people, because jana also is important. So janasya atmanahava, and moreover, that kind of habit and practice which will be really congenial, recommendable for happiness in all the three lokas, is very, very difficult. See, punaha triloke yo hetuhu sammataha arthaha. See, that is that particular reasoning or object, and also all that which is being acceptable in all the three lokas, swarga, martya, patala lokas. So all these lokas, that kind of factor is very, very difficult for us to get. Manava janma is difficult, and manava dharma to adopt is difficult. And not only adopting the manava dharma, but also caring the dharma of co-manavas. That's what it's called as janasya cha. So these are all very important things. And nahimsyat. So dharma himsa madabaradu, and kama himsanu madabaradu. Because without kama, there is no dharma. There is no dharma without kama. That's why in Ramayanam, Valmiki Maharshi has beautifully analyzed in Balakanda itself how these dharma, artha, kama, mokshas, how these four purusharthas interlinked or interconnected, And if anyone is dropped, how harmful it is. Dharmad arthaha prabhavati. Arthaha kamasamudbhavaha. Kamaha moksha pradaha. Like that he goes on telling in Ramayana that how these four purusharthas are the goals of human living. What is purushartha? The goals of human living. We are not just living for eating. It is not eat to live, but not live to eat. So here he says that himsa madabaradu, dharmakke himsa madabaradu, arthakke himsa madabaradu, kamakke hamsa madabaradu. And like that, not only to atmanaha, not only to yourself, also for others. And it is always difficult to obtain equipoised comforts which will be approvable in all the three lokas. And now Prahlada is trying to explain this scientific truth, this philosophical truth in the next slokas. Look at it. Please repeat. Kulkarnevare heli kaumare acharet prajnaha.
Kaumare acharet prajna. Kaumara acharet prajna.
Dharman bhagavata niha.
Dharman bhagavata niha. Dharman bhagavata niha.
Dharman durlabham manusham janma.
Dharman durlabham manusham janma. Dharman durlabham manusham janma.
Tadapi adhruvam.
Tadapi adbhuvam. Tadapi adbhuvam.
Amarthadam.
Amartarthadam. Amartarthadam.
Dhruvamarthadam.
Dhruvamarthadam. Dhruvamarthadam.
Yatha hi purushosyeha.
Yatha hi purushostheha. Yatha hi purushostheha.
Vishnoho padopasarpanam.
Vishnohu padopasarpanam. Vishnohu padopasarpanam.
Yadesha sarvabhutanam.
Yadesha sarvabhutanam. Yadesha sarvabhutanam.
Priya atmeshwaraha.
Priya atmeshwaraha. Priya atmeshwaraha.
Suhrutu.
Suhrutu. Suhrutu.
Sukham aindriyakam daityaha.
Sukham aindriyakam daityaha. Sukham aindriyakam daityaha.
Deha yogena dehinam.
Deha yogena dehinam. Deha yogena dehinam.
Sarvatra labhyate daivat.
Sarvatra labhyate daivat. Sarvatra labhyate daivat.
Yatha sukham.
Yatha dukam. Yatha sukham.
Ayatnataha.
Prayatnataha. Prayatnataha.
Tat prayaso na kartavyo.
Tat prayaso na kartavyo. Tat prayaso na kartavyo.
Yata ayurvyaha param.
Yata ayurvyaha param. Yata ayurvyaha param.
Na tatha vindate kshemam.
Na tatha vindate kshemam. Na tatha vindate kshemam.
Mukunda charanambujam.
Mukunda charanam bhujam. Mukunda charanam bhujam.
So here in 256, 67, Prahlada is telling to all his classmates who are all boys. And so he is addressing all of them as Daityaha. You are all belonging to the Diti class, Daitya class. So Danavas. So what is that? Everybody has got to adopt to the Bhagavata Dharman iha in this birth, in this world, upon the earth. ಈ ಭೂಲೋಕದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಹುಟ್ಟಿದಾಗ ನಾವು ಕೌಮಾರದಿಂದಲೇ ಭಾಗವತ್ ಧರ್ಮಗಳನ್ನು, ಭಗವತ್ ಸೇವೆಯನ್ನು, ಭಗವತ್ ವಿಧಾನವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. When you start learning that, you will be called as a prajna. See, prajna means visesha gnana vanata. Everybody is a prajna. Everybody has got that awareness. But that awareness must be of what kind? The kind that we are all there, given opportunity upon the earth to consider Bhagavan, and we have to adopt the qualities of Bhagavan, the behavior of Bhagavan, behavior that we are able to please Bhagavan. All that come under the heading Bhagavata. Bhagavatasya idam sarvam Bhagavatam. All that is connected to Bhagavan is called as Bhagavata. And because Manusham Durlabham Janma, everybody must realize that there is no guarantee that you will be born again as a man. See, human birth is not assured birth always to us. Something like when you miss a place, you cannot return to that place immediately at all. See, when we went to a market in Calcutta, very far away from the accommodation, one of my friends told, Prabhakar, if you want to buy a thing that you like to hear, you buy now only. We cannot come back to this area because the market is very busy, very far off from our accommodation. So you should decide and buy, otherwise you forget about it. Like that, our Manusha Janma is something sudden, Aschariyam, and approved and got it. Therefore, Labdhum Dukkhena Labdhum Yogyam Durlabham. See, unless you have got dukkha, that means trouble, effort. Dukkha is an effort. That's why it is said, Krishna Shankaracharya says, Mahata Punya Panyena Kritam Sariram. We have purchased our body from God by offering a great price. What is the price we paid? It is Punyam. So, Mahata Panya Punya, Panya andre price. So that's why Durlabham Manusham Janma, whether it's a Rakshasa or whatever be the form, but when we got Manush Janma, we should never do that. Okay. Why? Because the Manush Janma is Adhruvam but Arthadam. See, it will give you all facility to emancipate ourselves, but it is very difficult to get. And even if you get, it is not confirmed one, because we are not assured that you will get back the same birth. Because we are hopeful, oh, Anyasmin Janmane, in my next birth, let me be born in a rich family. In another Janma, let me be born in a yogic family. Like that, we keep on hoping and hoping and hoping. But our hopes only are hopes there, unless they are sanctioned by Paramatma, counter signature by him. And therefore, he says all that kind of Bhagavad Dharmas have got to be adopted even when we are Kaumara. Does not mean only child. When you are having good health, good opportunity, good guru, good time, and all good congenial atmosphere, then only you have to pick up. That's exactly what it is. So Kaumara means when you are having strength in your body. You know, there is a lot of stamina in while we are young. As boy or girl, in younger days, lot of stamina. You don't care even to eat. Without eating also, you keep on playing, because that's why the parents are worried. Hey, properly take food, properly go to sleep. This kind of cautions are being given to Kaumaras or Kumaras or Kumaris by parents and elders. When that Kumara stage has gone, when Maduve takes place, ಅವ್ರೇನಪ್ಪ ದೊಡ್ಡವರು ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೇನು ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವರೇ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ. Parents stop talking to children when they cross the Kaumara stage. Therefore, he says, while being Kumaras, while having stamina, you should acquire lot of devotion and knowledge about Bhagavan. Now 258 sloka. So, Iha Purushasya Vishnoho Padopasarpanam Sreyaha. See, when we are living as human beings, it is always recommended to try to reach the divine feet, Vishnu Padas. Why Madhvas and some other Vaishnavas worship the Vishnu Pada in their Devatarchana. So Devata Pujadalli Vishnu Padakarna itkodtare. Vishnu Pada Pujana either Shraddha Karmadalli use ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ದೇವತಾ ಕರ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಮಧ್ವರಿಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಮುಖ್ಯ, because it's a Vaishnava Sampradaya. In fact, some people make Vishnu Pada also as a Dhanam. So, ಕೆಲವರು ಮಧ್ವರು ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ವಿಷ್ಣು ರಾಗಿಯಿಂದ ಮಾಡಿರೋ ವಿಷ್ಣು ಪಾದವನ್ನು ದಾನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಆರ್ ಬೆಳ್ಳಿದು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಆರ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. So to say, it's an incentive for the others to worship Vishnu Pada and go to Vishnu Pada. That means Pada is belonging to the Vishnu. That way Padosya, Vishnu has taken the seat in the feet of all, because feet has got very much importance in the human anatomy. As anybody knows that, that's why Padavandanam is recommended. Therefore, Vishnoho Pada Upasarpanam. Upasarpanam is crawling towards the reaching the feet of God. To crawl, understand that you have to go very slowly. So that is the most, because Yeshaha Sarvabhutanam Priyaha Atmeswaraha Suhruto. Why you should think of Vishnu means he is the loved person by all people born as humans. Sarvabhutanam, not only humans but also other beings also. We have got that Sri, Kala, Hasti, Ishvara is there. Sri is the spider, Kala is serpent, Hasti is the elephant. So these are the symbolic Upalakshana animals. Kala is poisonous animal. Sri is also more poisonous animal, but having that kind of combing, that spider. So Sri, Kala and Hasti is the highest animal, Kachadram. And his skin is very deep and dense. So thick-skinned animal is the elephant. So all these three varieties of animals also are eligible to get the moksham, as we understand from Sri Kalahastiswara Mahathyam or Satakam. So that's why Sarvabhutanam Priya, Bhuta andre pranigalu. Ella pranigalige odaya yaru andre Paramatma. And not only that, Atma Ishvaraha. So everybody has got the Atma, and that Atma is being governed by Parameswara. Atma has got two meanings. One, body, and the second one is called the Paramatma, the soul inside. And not only that, Atma is friend to all people. That one has to remember. That's exactly what Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, saying that Atmaiva Bandhuhu Atmanaha, Atmaiva Ripuhu Atmanaha, Atmanam. So one should not demean one's own self. Atma is friend to oneself, Atma is enemy to the same person. Therefore, never you should demean your Atma. Atmaiva Bandhuhu Atmanaha, Atma Nava Avamanyet. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಈ ಆತ್ಮದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಲಿಟ್ರೇಚರ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. All Upanishads talk about the Atma, and we have to remember there is a Paramatma and Jivatma and Paramatma. That Jivatma must work hard to get all that and reach Paramatma. And now 259 sloka, she says, Sukham Aindriyakam Daityaha Deha Yogena Dehinam. See, all people are having comfort and happiness. All that happiness is connected to our Indriyas. Aindriyakam. Aindriyakam andre Indriyakka sambandha pattirodu. Olle ಸೀನರಿ ನೋಡಿದರೆ ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಆನಂದ, ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಸಂಗೀತ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ ಕಿವಿಗೆ ಆನಂದ, ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಉಪ್ಪಿನಕಾಯಿ ತಿಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ನಾಲ್ಗಿಗೆ ಆನಂದ, ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. ಸೊ we have got the Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasagandhaha. All these things are Aindriyakam and Sukham. And the moment you have got a body, you have got that taste. So anybody who has got the body, anybody who has got the senses, and they will be commonly enjoy all of them. But Sarvatra Labhyate Daivat Yatha Dukkham Ayatnataha. So because of the divine grace with which we are all born, that will automatically comes to us very easily. But if you want to have divine will understanding, you have to make some extra effort. So dukkham ayatnataha yatha daivat. So therefore, in 260 sloka, Prahlada comes to advise us that prayaso na kartavyaha yataha ayuhu vyayaha param. See, to cater the interests of the interests of the indriyas, you need not exert more and more. Prayasa andre exertion. Na kartavyaha, not necessary to be done. If at all you were to take that kind of prayasa, what are you doing? Ayurvyaha param kruvindate. You are just spending your time, your health, your stamina, and all the comfort that you are having. Therefore, you need not exert much to cater the interests of the indriyas and deha sukham. ಈ ದೇಹ ಸುಖಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾವು ತುಂಬಾ ಕಷ್ಟ ಪಡೆಯಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. If you were to take toll like that, it is only spending of your ayuhu, span of life, and too much. So, and it's only changes you are going to ayurvyaha param. But therefore, natadha vindate kshemam.
I have a question, sir. Sir, I have a question on this. When you're talking there, I mean, my understanding is we should not take a physical strain to do the spiritual sadhana. Is my understanding right?
Yeah, deha yogena dehinam daityaha aindriyakam sukham. See, the moment the body is there, there are indriyas. If you are catering more and more for promoting the interests of the indriyas, it is easy to do that. But to separate, to try to control the indriyas, to put them on a different track of spirituality, that would be really a good expensive, expending of our time. That's why second line, I'll notice, second line, he says 260, Kshemam na tatha vindate yatha mukunda charanambujam kshemam. Which is most permanent and secured one. Deha sukha is not kshemam, but charanambuja bhakti is kshemam. So to say, ఇంద్రియాలు ఉన్నంత వరకు ఆ ఇంద్రియాలు ఆటోమేటిక్గా వాటికి కావలసిన వాటిని చూసుకుంటూ ఉంటుంది. దాని గురించి ఎక్కువ ప్రయత్నం చేయక్కర్లేదు. ఇంద్రియ, దట్స్ వై కృష్ణ సేస్ ఇన్ భగవద్గీత, ఇంద్రియాః ఇంద్రియార్థేషు ప్రవర్తంతే. Always the indriyas will automatically look after the fulfillment of the objects for which they are all born and they are with you. కళ్ళు ఏం చేస్తుందంటే, they want to see more and more beautiful, non-beautiful, otherwise objects all. But that's why when you want to take to yoga, remember the Charanambujam of Krishna or Bhagavan, you have to close your eyes. No yoga, no meditation possible opening your eyes. Avana Saraswati?
Yes, yeah, that is true.
కళ్ళు తెరుచుకుని ఉంటే ఇంద్రియాలు యాక్టివ్గా ఉంటుంది. Because it is I which will prompt other indriyas to follow in line.
Yeah, the problem is, the moment I think that I am this body, then, the way you explained, correct, the eyes will do their duty. Their responsibility is to go behind the good things, or, which is very pleasurable things. Or the ears will hear whatever is like,
exactly. You said go. So for go, you click the go, I clicked.
Okay.
That's why it is said, Sarvasya Gatrasya Sirah Pradhanam. For entire members of our body, Kamalagaru intunara, for the entire systems of our body or members of our body, which is the most important, Siraha Pradhanam. The head is important. అందుకే తిట్టే వాళ్ళు ఏమంటారు, వాడు హెడ్లెస్ ఫెలో అంటారు, కానీ హ్యాండ్లెస్ ఫెలో అంటారు కదా. సో హెడ్ ఈజ్ ఇంపార్టెంట్. సర్వస్య గాత్రస్య శిరః ప్రధానం. సరస్వతి రాసుకుంటున్నావు నోట్స్.
Yes, sir, I'm writing it.
Yeah, next one is సర్వేంద్రియాణం నయనం ప్రధానం. అన్ని ఇంద్రియాలకి ఏది ఇంపార్టెంట్ అంటే కన్ను. సర్వేంద్రియాణం నయనం ప్రధానం. సో this is how the prominence, and also దేహానిక ఇంద్రియం. సో కళ్ళు ఒక్కటి, అందుకోసమే కళ్ళు ఉన్నా లేకుండా చేసుకోవడము యోగము. అంటే once you close your eye, the inner eye becomes active. The inner screen of the mind becomes opened, whereupon you can project all divine, spiritual, etc. things on the light. So the divine light will fall on the inner screen of the mind, not on the outer screen of the mind. Therefore, Sarvendriyanam Pradhanam. And there is one more line which I am not getting now. I'll get it afterwards. So, but for the purpose here, he says that Kannu చూస్తుంది, నాలుక కావాలంటుంది, చెవి విందామంటుంది, ఎట్సెట్రా. సో ఇవన్నీ చూస్తుంటే కన్ను నుంచి అన్ని వ్యాపారాలు, మన ఇంద్రియ వ్యాపారం విల్ బికమ్ యాక్టివ్. అండ్ ఈవెన్ కన్నులు, ఈవెన్ దీనికన్నిటికీ మధ్యలో ఉండేది ఏంటి, మనస్సు. కన్నుకు మనస్సు ఇంపార్టెంట్, అన్ని ఇంద్రియాలకు మనస్సు. ఈ మనస్సు పైన after next to manas is the buddhi, and next to buddhi is parabuddhi. That parabuddhi is Paramatma. So, but Paramatma, the parabuddhi, is operative at indriyas, at manas and at buddhi. But when you care more the parabuddhi, then the indriya and the manas get controlled, and then you will be having that charanam, mukunda charanam bhujam kshemam vindate. So when you have your mind vested upon the feet of Paramatma, as much happiness you get, so much happiness you will never get when you care more indriyas. That is what is the Prahlada's preaching. And this point can be realized only when people start to yoga and practice. వద్దు అని చెప్పడము చాలా కష్టం, especially with regard to the indriya arthas. Anything, if you get into a shop, you don't say, this I don't want. Looking at all objects in this shop, you want a whole shop, you want. But you cannot bring the whole shop into your house, because your house becomes a shop. Therefore, you have to exercise yoga. You have to tell your mind that this I want, this I don't want. And this I may want, but now I don't want. This kind of discretional knowledge must flow in our head and ultimately decide only one, because number of factors are there which will not permit all of them to be taken home. But what is safe is Mukunda Charanambujam Kshemam and Vindate. And that Kshemam, that security, that surety, that permanence, which adapting to the bhakti of Charanambujam is always good. That's why, if at all not caring God, not caring Daivatvam, if you do care all the indriyas into our action, then what would happen is you will be spending your life, ayur vyayaha. Vyaya means change. Vyaya means reducing. Vyaya means something like saying, Gadiarambuna takku takku manikku vegam kottu sebdambu vembadi ayushyamulu ఒక్కటొక్కటిగా సోపానంబులు డిగ్గున్ అంటాడు ఒక కవి. So there is a ladder. Our ayuhu is a ladder. And as the pendulum of the clock keeps on moving, vacillating, we'll be getting down slowly, step by step to go to zero. Therefore, vyayaha means change. Karchu marti now, expenditure. So we are expending our time. That's why they say that time is precious, life is precious. On main roads, national highways, they write, life is more precious than time. Because life is to care many more things. That's why natatha vindate kshemam mukunda charanambujam. I don't know whether Saraswati got the answer.
I got the answer, sir.
Very good. Now we go to 261. See, Prahlada is only one who is a realized soul and who has underwent all sorts of dukham. And అన్ని రకములైన హింసలు అనుభవిస్తూ నారాయణ స్మృతిని మాత్రం వదిలిపెట్టలేదు. Even for Muchukunda, when Brahmadeva appeared, Muchukunda, the king asked Brahma, give me moksham. Then Brahma said, this is Bhagavatam, Brahma said, I'm sorry, I am not given the powers to give moksham. Only Vishnu and Shiva have got the power to give you moksham. Then he said, my doing penance is a waste. Now Brahma says, no, don't consider like that. I am very much pleased with the penance. You ask something. Don't go without asking me, I will be whole. Then when Muchukunda was refusing to ask anything, then he said, no, I give you Yoga Nidra. And in that Yoga Nidra, I give you the blessing of Narayana Smriti. Then Narayana will come and give you moksha. That's that kind of scope or hope has been given by Brahma. Therefore, Muchukunda went into a deep cave of a mountain, went into the Yoga Nidra or Nidra sleeping and doing Narayana Smriti. Even Dhruva also, when Narayana was present, gave him all that what he desired, he never asked anything Narayana. And later on, when Yaksha Raja, the Kubera appeared to him, and he asked from Kubera, the rich fellow, financier, and Kubera asked, what do you want? That you cease fire on our Yakshas, you stopped war upon our Yakshas, what do you want? Then Dhruva realized, no, I have done a lot of wrong. Being an emperor, please give me Narayana Smriti in my mind. Always Narayana Smriti. So, because of that was the boon given by Kubera to Dhruva, and which made him to go to a separate loka by himself, by his name, Dhruva Lokam, that is beyond Vaikuntham. So, the Narayana Smriti is our Mukunda Charanambujam is Samat. Because Bhagavatam talks about the super importance of bhakti and bhakti as the paramount important. What
Sir,
is
I have
paramount?
a question, sir. Sir, once once the human being reaches to Vaikuntha, do they come back to earth at any point?
No, Napunaravrutti. No, that's why every year we are going to temporary Vaikuntha in the temple. Vaikuntha Ekadasi, you call it. If you do, that is only a transitory, preparatory way how you go to Vaikuntham.
So there is no return to earth actually.
No return. Napunaravrutti. See, పాదములు చేరిన తర్వాత మళ్ళా రాదు కదండి. So, Vishnu పాదములు చేరిన తర్వాత there is no more thing. That's why all rivers get into Vishnu pada back, because they are all emanated from Vishnu padam. And what is Vishnu padam? Samudra Narayana. All rivers go and merge into Samudra Narayana, that they become completely lose their name and form. Nama Rupe Vihaya. So when once you get into merged with Narayana Pada, you lose your name, you lose your identity, you lose everything and you become one with that Padas. So Narayana Padal Chednaru ante, he has got the moksham, no return, na punaravritti.
So one more question, sir. So when the Srishti gets created, once the Srishti is destroyed and then again it gets created, then what will happen to the soul? They will not get Janma in the other.
Yeah, I think in Bhagavatam, Narayaniyam, everywhere it is said, those souls which are liberated will not have chance to be reborn again. Those souls which have got still some more karmas, they are again projected back from the stomach of Narayana after Pralayam, slowly one by one, according to the timing, Brahmadeva's discretion. So how the whole world, the Vishwam being created, filled with again jivas and again prakriti, it is again repetition of action. Akhilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayakaha and Leela Kalpita Brahmanda Mandala, and again whatever is remaining, that will be brought back into that. That's why we always make, today is big Amavasya, you remember? Today we remember all the departed souls, and today we make a prayer to that Mama Samasta Pitrunam Shaswata Brahmaloka Vaprastu. Yenandre na yokka samasta pitrudevatala kuda శాశ్వతమైన బ్రహ్మలోకంలోనే ఉండడానికి సిటిజన్షిప్ చిక్కని అనుకుంటాం. బ్రహ్మలోకము అంటే విష్ణులోకమే. అక్కడి నుంచి మళ్ళీ they should not come back. It is wrong for us to think that our father or grandfather or great grandfather is reborn. We don't know. We know when they have got body. ఒక్కసారి దేహం వెళ్ళిపోయిందంటే no tracing back at all. That's why ఏం చేస్తారంటే చనిపోయిన తర్వాత ప్రాణాన్ని దీపంలో పెట్టి దీపం నుంచి రాతిలోకి మార్చి I'm talking in Telugu. So they transfer the life of the being dead into a stone for 10 days. They give samskara for the stone, and ultimately on 11th day they mix that stone into water, because from water beings are created, into the waters beings get merged. So water is the be all and end all of all people. నీటి నుంచి వచ్చాము, నీటిలో ఫ్లోట్ అయ్యాము, నీటిలో బతుకుతున్నాము, మళ్ళా నీటిలోకి వెళ్ళిపోవాలి. Because the water is constantly a flowing substance. కాలః గచ్చతి క్రీడతి ఆయుః తదపి న ముంచతి ఆశావాయుః భజ గోవిందం శంకర. What a kind of truth he has told. కాలః అంటే నది, కాల నది. ఈ కాల నది గచ్చతి, ఎప్పుడు ప్రవహిస్తూనే ఉంటుంది కదమ్మా. See, in Benares for Ganga, they have created 87 ghats where you can take bath. In any ghat, you can take bath. Other than the 87 ghats, you can't enter into Ganga. ಹೌದ್ರಿ ಕುಲ್ಕರ್ಣಿ ಅವರೇ, ನಾವು ಸ್ನಾನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಘಾಟ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಸ್ನಾನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಎಲ್ಲಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ನದಿಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ನದಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನೀವು if you want to board a ship, you have to go only that extended area on the water.
Of God, correct.
You can't just get into that.
Correct.
Or he has to put one plank. Boat, if he is nearby, the boat wala will put a plank and make you walk on the plank and get into the boat.
Howda? 100%.
Saraswati garu vintunara?
Yeah.
So that's exactly when he puts a plank to get into the boat. That exactly is Vaikuntha Ekadasi. Every year we are going through.
It is Vaikuntha Lokam. Yes,
so
sir, yes.
plank illde boat only hogodಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋಲ್ವಾ? High touch, you can't have a jump.
Blank is symbolic. Yes, you are exact.
That particular plank
Yes.
they put, or that particular board to reach the boat is important.
Yes. To go inside. So
ಅದು ಯಾವುದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಭಕ್ತಿ.
okay.
ಆ ಪ್ಲಾಂಕ್ ಯಾವುದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಭಕ್ತಿ.
Bhakti, yes.
ಆ ಭಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಪ್ಲಾಂಕ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ತಗೊಂಡು ನಾರಾಯಣ ಎಂಬ ವೈಕುಂಠ ಲೋಕಕ್ಕೆ ಅಥವಾ ನಾರಾಯಣ ಪಾದಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು. ಅಂಡ್ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಬೋಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಕ್ಷೇಮಂ. ದಿ ವಾಟರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಫಿಯರ್, ದಿ ರಿವರ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎ ಫಿಯರ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅಸ್. ನಾವೇವ ಸಿಂಧುಂ ಅತಿ ದುರಿತಾಚ್ಯಗ್ನಿ ತಾಮಗ್ನಿವರ್ಣಾಂ ತಪಸಾ ಜ್ವಲಂತೀಂ ವೈರೋಚನೀಂ ಕರ್ಮ ಫಲೇಷು ದುಷ್ಟಾಂ ದುರ್ಗಾಂ ದೇವೀಂ ಶರಣಮಹಂ ಪ್ರಪದ್ಯೆ. ಯಾಕೆ? ಸುತರಸಿ ತರಸೇ ನಮಃ. అమ్మవారు మనను కాపాడాలి అంటే బోట్ ఎక్కాలి. ఎవరు బోటు అంటే అమ్మవారే బోటు. And therefore we are all introduced that navigation is important. And so here also mukunda charanambujam yatha kshemam vindate na tatha vindate. So Saraswati question ఏంటంటే, ఇంకా కర్మ ఉన్న వాళ్ళు పుట్టుతారు, కర్మ సమసిన వాళ్ళు పుట్టరు.
What about Yashoda and Devaki and all? So they would have merged with Lord.
Still they have got the karma to become mother of the Vishnu again.
Oh, okay.
See, this point is clear in Bhagavatam when Krishna tells Devaki. Devaki asked the question, ఏంట్రా కృష్ణ 14 ఏళ్ళు అయింది, ఇప్పుడు చిన్నప్పుడు పుట్టంగానే చూశాను కానీ తర్వాత నేను చూడలేదు, ఇన్ని రోజులు నన్ను చూడడానికి రాలేదే అని డిమాండ్ చేస్తుంది అమ్మవారు. అమ్మా, ఐఎమ్ నాట్ రెస్పాన్సిబుల్ ఫర్ దాట్, యూ ఓన్లీ సెంట్ మీ అవే లైక్ దట్ టు బి. ఇన్ రామావతారం యువర్ కౌసల్య, యువర్ అహల్, యువర్ కైకేయి, and you sent me 14 years like that. So what you have been doing in every janma for me, you have repeated, that's all. So as mother, if you wail like that, I am not responsible. నీ కర్మ నీవు, నీ పిట్టల నుంచి దూరంగా ఉండడానికి నీవు కోరుకున్నావు.
Okay.
That is now happening to all children, all parents nowadays. Only old parents are in big bungalows in India, is it not? 4 bedrooms bungalow.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So only old parents are living in that. How many parents are there? When we come to India, we are also similarly like that, is it not? So what happiness we are having is temporary.
Right, sir.
Avuna Saraswati?
Yeah, that is true.
Malla Saraswati Raman phone cheyalani dorkadu, I am busy sir, సాయంకాలం వస్తాను అంటారు. Is it not?
Yeah.
So ఎవరు పుట్టుతారు? It's also a good question. That's why కహా శత్రు కహా ఉదాసీన కిం మత్రః కిం మిత్రం కో అర్థః భవత్స్వ వినయైః కం స్యాద్ దైవం దైవం ప్రతిపద్యతే. చూసారా, కృష్ణ ఆర్ దైవం, he is the person who is the monitor and he has got the remote in his hand. Saraswati, now let us go to 261 and 2. Here amma Kamala garu cheppandi. Tato yateta kusalaha.
I don't have book, Guruji. I don't have book. Sorry.
You don't have text? Oh, you must have 261 sloka.
I don't have it, Guruji. I don't have it. Sorry.
Yeah, please utter the Krishna word, the Prahlada's words in our mouth. Tato yateta kusalaha kshemaya.
I don't have book, Guruji. I don't have book. Sorry, Guruji.
Okay.
Sure.
Sivalingaya, please tell Manu.
Okay.
Tato yateta kusalaha.
ततोत येते कुशलः ततोत येते कुशलः
Tato yateta kusalaha yateta.
यतेत कुशलः ते यतेत कुशलः
हेमाया भवमाश्रितः
हेमाय भववासितः हेमाव च भववा इतः
भवमाश्रितः
Mahashitaha, Vahamashitaha,
Shariram Paurusham Yavatu.
Shariram Paurusham Yavato, Shariram Paurusham Yavato,
Ya Navipadyeta Pushkalam.
Yavitat Bheta Pushpalam, Yavitat Shesha
Vipadyeta Pushkalam.
Bheta Pushkalam.
It's a beautiful suggestion which Prahlada tells, having given the problems. So he is telling in this sloka, Kusalaha yateta kshemaya bhavamasitaha. Bhavam ante puttuka. Puttadamu ane danni oppukunnappudu, when you are accepted to be born and living as a human being, as a being, you have got to effort. You have make effort. Yateta. Prayatnam cheyali. Paurusham Shariram Yavatu. When you have got a human form, when you have got the body which is liable for decay, diminishing and disease and all that minus points, before it actually reaches a 0 point, Pushkalam na vipadyeta. పరుపు మీద ఫ్లాట్ అయిపోయి ఇంజక్షన్లు మెడిసిన్లు ట్యూబులు వచ్చే ముందుగానే మనము క్షేమం కోసము పరమాత్మని ధ్యానించాలి అంటారు. See, our body should not come to a stage of being punctured any and everywhere through injections. Unpunctured body we should get out. When we are when vipada means death, vipada means disease, vipada means rogam. Before our body becomes completely open for that kind of problematic stage, it is quite necessary for us to think of some safety measures. What is the safety measure? To remember the word, the feet of Paramatma. And because why should you think of that Kshemam? Because bhavam is temporary. Bhavani bhavana gamya bhavaranya kutarika bhadrapriya bhadramurtihi bhakta saubhagyadayini is Lalita Parameswari. So bhava, she is called Bhavani because she is the monitor for all people who are born. That's why Shankaracharya says in Saundara Lahari, Bhavani dasetvam amma nenu neeku dasudu aipoyanu. Bhavani yaha vadati, Bhavani iti yaha vadati, tasmai pradeshami. She says, anybody who thinks of me makes me praise, to him I give moksham. That's what Parameswari tells. Even for Shiva Vishnu Brahmas, she has to only grant the emancipation. Therefore, here Prahlada is telling all his Danava friends, classmates, Aya, we are all young fellows, we have all energy and stamina. Now only we should work, devote ourselves to the feet of Narayana, and that is the only a permanence. But all Indriya Sukhas for which we are hankering after is not at all happy. Anu has got no doubt at all. She is completely convinced.
Yes, uncle.
So that's why the bhakti pitching, see, Prahlada, or rather the Sukha Maharshi is pitching upon the importance of bhakti so greatly that there is no other alternative for safety other than devoting ourselves to that. It is like the plank, bhakti plank, to sit upon the boat to go to moksha. Because Kala is a nadi. Kalaha gacchati. And kridati ayuhu. Our ayusu is a sport. In sport, we have got happiness and unhappiness, success and failure. So, when our life is a sport, Krishna is telling us, Samatvam yoga uchyate. You should not cry when you lose the game. And you should not jump too much jump with happiness when you have got victory. So be calm, quiet, and accept it that comes to you. Is it not?
This
So that kind of,
whatever you said, you gave a very good example of last time when you spoke and you said when you look at the body of individual, the God has given 2 hands, 2 legs, 2 eyes. So he has taken care of samatvam, correct? So that example was it is very rare.
yeah. So, but he has given only one tongue, you remember. The tongue is a truant, mischievous thing. That will spoil the interest of the stomach also. Stomach is Paramatma. He will never demand anything. He will never prescribe. No menu card with stomach. The menu card when you go to a restaurant or a kitchen is only the tongue. And moreover, there are 6 notes in our tongue. Shadrasa. That is bitter, sweet, sour. Is it not?
Yes, sir.
Shadrasopetamu unnappudu 6 rasamulu, 6 buds are there. 6 buds are there in our tongue.
6 buds, yes.
So the stomach has not got all that. It is common to all the 6 buds.
Yes.
Therefore, see, Paramatma is very, very intelligent. We can't challenge his intelligence at all.
Yes.
And we have also intelligence, but no artificial intelligence or any other intelligence will compete with Paramatma. This is super intelligence. So you talk about supercomputers. So supercomputing is there in all these things. So we stop here. Very good. And we meet same time next week also. And see how this Bhagavata Saptasati is connectedly giving us the link. At the same time, stressing the importance as bhakti is the only Kshema Marga, and all other margas are not at all safe, but they are transient, though they look attractive.
Okay.
And this is not at all new from our Vedic philosophy. That also, Vedas have also told that bhakti or devotion or dedication or that's why we shall always say about 3 Ds. That is dexterity, devotion, and another is one more. So all 3 Ds are important. So with this, today we stop. And please go to
I have one more, when you talk about various paths, correct, to reach Lord. One is Jnana Marga, where people become very scholar and they debate on Brahman. Do you think they can reach God's feet through Jnana Marga also? Is it very tough?
No, Jnana Marga is tough, but definitely they go to Jnana. Because they have Jnanam, they preach Jnanam to others. If they catch up, that's exactly what Vivekananda, Buddha, Shankara, all these great acharyas are trying to get. They all got moksham. See, Vivekananda lived, Shankara lived 32 years, Vivekananda 36 years. Why? They don't want to waste their time here. They have something different purpose there. I think so. So Gnani, that's why Gnani Bahunam Janmanamante Gnanavan Mam Prapajyate. Ee Gnanavantudu Nannu Cherchukuntadu doubt ledanamata. Krishna has given the promise. And also he has given, see, Artho Jignasu Artharthi Gnani cha Nararshabha antadu. Ee 4 lopala muguru drop అయిపోతారు. 4వ వాడు మాత్రమే కంటిన్యూ అవుతాడు. That is exactly what Krishna, Gnani Bhava Arjuna, Yogi Bhava Arjuna. That's exactly, Krishna is hampering on the head of Arjuna. You continue to be a Gnani. Don't be the other 3 fellows who drop down. Is it not?
Yeah.
So Gnana Margamlo, andike Bhagavatamu, Bharat, enta knowledge, no Rishi is stopping himself. He is keeping on educating and adding knowledge, is it not?
Yeah, but then you're saying it is tough for the common people like us. Jnana Marga will be tough. So Bhakti Marga is the only way to reach her.
Bhakti is Gnanam. Gnana Bhakti it is called, is it not? Bhakti Gnana and Gnana Bhakti. Gnana ante recognition, is it not? The cognizance of a pathway which will really lead you to better pathways is called Gnanam. That's exactly is called spiritual path.
Okay.
If you trust God, see, I told you the other day, God who created us, Paramatma, and any father, any mother who created a child, who gave birth for a child, they will take care of the child until the child becomes independent. Similarly, in the body itself, Paramatma has given, next class I will give you a talk on that. What are the comforts which Paramatma gave in our body?
Okay.
If you want, if you are not, if you are in a hurry, you can read the last section, last chapter, the cantos of Krishna, I mean, in the first section of the Bhagavatam, where how much care God has taken in order that the body given or the birth given would be live for 100 years. And this is exactly what we are, what kind of assurance given and what kind of kshema. But what we are doing is, because of the name of the culture, civilization, etc., we are going far away from nature. Those who are closer to nature, they are not bothered about the botheration from the nature. I see in Facebook some 2, 3, 4 yogis sitting in Kedarnath in the snow falling and doing meditation of Kedarnath. They don't have cloth on their upper body. And Yogaagnimayam Sariram, when they take to Yogagnimaya Sariram, Najara Namrutshuhu. Is it not? Jara ante reaction, reflections and reflexes. Mrityu ante problems. So they will be free from problem. Their mind is complete. That's why when your mind goes beyond, like Ramana Maharshi, not at all aware of the outside that. Even Rama was like that when he lost Sita. He was lost in thought, so much so that naiva apasarpadi mashakan, na chashakan, na sarasrapan ramaha, tameva dhyayan. That is, he was not removing the cockroaches, nor mosquitoes, nor crawling creatures, not even the deadly poisonous animals crawling over his body. Because he was lost in thought. That is what is called yoga. And that is what is called tapas. So manas tapassu, there are two things which are very satyam tapaha. These are the two gadgets to get on with the tapas, so that we will be able to see comfort only, permanent comfort, rather than the temporary comforts. అమ్మా ఇవన్నీ మాట్లాడడం ఈజీ, బట్ ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయడం చాలా కష్టం. కొంచెం బుర్ర కావాలి, మన త్యాగం కావాలి. త్యాగేన ఏకేన అమృతత్వం మానసు. ఇస్ ఇట్ నాట్? ఇప్పుడు మనం ఒక గంట సేపు భాగవతం పేరులో కూర్చున్నామంటే ఇట్స్ గ్రేట్ త్యాగం ఫర్ అను, కమల గారు అండ్ శివలింగయ్య. యూ కెన్ లిసన్ టు బ్యూటిఫుల్ టీవీ సీరియల్ కదా. సో అవన్నీ వదిలేసి అలా భాగవతంలో మన ప్రహ్లాదుడు మనకేం చెప్పాడు, వాట్ ప్రహ్లాద ఈస్ కమ్యూనికేటింగ్ టు అస్, వెన్ వీఆర్ ఏబుల్ టు లిసన్, ఇట్స్ ఎ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ జ్ఞాన ఆర్జన. ఇస్ ఇట్ నాట్? ఓకే అండి. ఓం తత్సతు.
హరి ఓం తత్సతు.
సర్వం శ్రీకృష్ణార్పణమస్తు.
సర్వం శ్రీకృష్ణార్పణమస్తు.
సర్వం శ్రీ మాతృచరణారవిందార్పణమస్తు. ఓం తత్సతు.
ఓం తత్సతు.
So if you have any questions, you can always